Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sportsians podcast. This is Shrikant, and joining me today is Vignesh to discuss about how a football transfer works. Hi, Vignesh. How are you doing?
Hey Srikanth, how are you?
I am fine, man. So let's
Uh,
start. We being Indians are overwhelmed by cricket. So let's draw some comparisons or differences of how different a football transfer is to a cricket or an IPL transfer that we are well versed with. Can you give us some insights about how a football transfer works?
Srikanth, the primary difference between IPL and football is that the prime source of players, where to pick a player in IPL is the IPL auction. IPL also has its transfer window, but that is very sparsely used. So
Right.
majority of the players come from the IPL transfer only. And in other cricket leagues like CPL and Big Bash League, they have this draft kind of system where all the players are listed on the board and each team gets to pick a player from their turn.
Right.
Football transfer is much more related to us as employees. So Shrikant, let me make things a bit more easy and interesting. So I know you worked in TCS, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So tell me, which is your dream company?
I'd say Microsoft.
Okay. So why do you want to join Microsoft?
Uh, I like the culture of the company very much. It is one of the biggest companies in the world and tech giants as such. So these are few of the reasons that I would like to
Okay,
join them.
Srikanth. So let us consider a hypothetical situation.
Yeah,
You are working with TCS and you have already signed a 5-year bond with them.
right.
Okay. Uh, Assuming that Microsoft comes to know about you and they want to hire you. So what they will do is they can't offer you a job directly because you are in a contract with TCS. So they will have to approach TCS and TCS will just not let you go because there's a bond, right?
Right.
So you will have to pay them some money to break that bond. We are all very much familiar with this concept. So what happens here is because Microsoft is the one who wants you, he will pay that bond money on your behalf to TCS. This is exactly what happens in a football transfer. A
So,
player is
right,
in
right,
a player is in a agreement with a team, and let us assume that he has 2 or 3 more years in his contract. So another team, if they want to buy that player, they will have to pay some money to release the player from his team's contract so that he is free from the contract and he can sign a new contract with the new team. I hope
okay,
it's clear.
right. So when we see these big money transfers where they tell 50 million, 100 million, or sometimes even 200 or 300 million, what we see in a cricket auction is, say, some player is given 10 crores. We think that 10 crores is going to that player. So is that similar in football or does it work differently?
Yeah, you have precisely got the point where cricket is different from football. So
Right.
in an IPL auction, if MS Dhoni goes for 6 crores to CSK, MS Dhoni gets the 6 crores. But in
Right.
football, if Neymar goes to PSG for 200 million, Neymar doesn't get the 200 million. The 200 million goes to the team to which Neymar was already playing for, which in this case is Barcelona. So you might ask me, so if the player doesn't get that money, why does he make the move? I mean, everyone works for money here, right?
Right.
So why does Neymar make the move from Barcelona to PSG if he does not get any money? So the
Exactly.
answer is very simple. Once again, you can draw similarities between us. So, like you said, you would prefer Microsoft to TCS because the work culture is good. Maybe the pay is better. Similarly, Neymar might have preferred Barcelona to PSG because he might have gotten more money over there. PSG might have told him that he might play for them regularly, and many more promises like that. There are so many factors which influence footballers' move. Of course, he does get money, but the money which we talk in the transfer market, which is the 50 million or 100 million, does not go to him.
So it is basically going to the club. Vignesh, I also heard like there is a policy like the parent club also gets fees when the player is moving from one club to another. Say like when Ronaldo moved from United to Madrid, his Portugal club, which he played for in his youth, also got some amount of the transfer money. How is that? How does that work? And could you throw some light on that?
Yes, Srikant, it all depends on what is written in the contract.
Okay.
Very recently, there is a very interesting story. last year, Chelsea sold Eden Hazard to Real Madrid.
Right.
There in the clause, Chelsea had explicitly stated that if Real Madrid wins the La Liga with Eden Hazard, Chelsea will get an extra 10 to 15 million bonus. So it is very simple. It's basically written in the contract. Similarly, Sporting had a clause which said that whenever Ronaldo moves to a new team, some X percentage or Y percentage of that move will come to the parent club, which was Sporting in that case. So everything is, it's the magic of contracts, maybe the Sporting, the manager of that team thought that Ronaldo was going to go places and he had just put a simple clause over there so that they are going to reap benefits of Ronaldo's achievements over the years.
All right, understood. So when we say a player is moving from one club to another, say Ronaldo's contract at Juventus is 3 years or 5 years, what will happen at the end of those 3 years? So will he continue playing for that same money, or what will be the differences or the further steps in that process?
Yeah, so basically, Srikanth, once again coming to the TCS example, let us assume that you have signed a 3-year bond in TCS and it's come to an end. So beyond that, you can stay in TCS and still work if you like the company, or you can move to a different company which offers you, a much better salary package. There you become a free agent. You no longer are bound to work for TCS. It's exactly the same. The player becomes a free agent after the number of contracts, the years are over. He can either sign a new contract with the same club, or he can choose a different club which is going to offer him. But here, the new club which might offer him does not need to pay any money to his previous club, because there is the contract is finished and they don't need to pay any money to the old club to get the services.
All right, Vignesh, that's insightful. So say coming back to my TCS example, if I want to switch a company, I would search on job portals and do that by myself. But will footballers also be that free, or like how will that work? Do they have external people helping them out with that? What are those guys called and what are their work? And how do they choose a club that they want to go to?
Definitely footballers don't do this because they have so much on their plate. They can't think about anything else other than football, that too at such a professional level. So they have people who represent them called the agents. Right. So these agents are the people who, negotiate terms with other clubs, with existing clubs, to see what is the best thing that a player can get. If let us say, for example, if Cristiano Ronaldo is there, he's playing for Juventus now. Let us assume that two or three clubs are interested in him and they offer more money to Cristiano Ronaldo than what Juventus is offering now. So these agents will actually do the negotiations on behalf of the player.
Right. So I've also heard about scouts or scouts of different clubs going into various parts of the country and even different leagues to look out for players that might suit their club. So what will be their task? Will they be set out with specific type of players to look into, or how is it? How do they work? How do scouts work?
Yes, scouts also have a particular type of skill set in mind. If a team generally, I won't say that they will be very particular. Maybe they will look at all the overall development. Scouts basically look at young players, let us say like 16 years or 17-year-old kids who have a bright spark in them. So if the scout is talented, he can see the bright spark in that player. And of course, being a very young kid, you won't look at a very specific attribute for him. That specific attribute will grow into him once he becomes much more professional.
Right, Vignesh. So having talked much about transfers, we'll touch upon different types of moves that are possible. Let me begin by explaining loan move, at least to the extent that I understand. One of the clubs that I dearly follow, Real Madrid, have a lot of loan moves that have been made by them. So I think I know a little. So putting it in management terms, say if we have a lot of spare money sitting in our SB account, so instead of just wasting that, it is like we are investing in a stock or in some other's company, hoping to get a better return out of it in the near future. Similarly, if a player is sitting just warming the benches. So instead of just having him waste his talent and not get game time, it's better to send him to another club where he'll get more ample opportunities and will have better opportunities to develop himself. So in the future, like us getting better or in the hopes of getting better returns, the parent club also will hope that he'll develop into a better player and return to his parent club in a year or two to do better things. So this is what I understand about loan moves. So enlighten us with what other types of moves are there and how they work.
Exactly, Srikanth, you have got the loan move bang on. So there are, of course, there are special types of transfers as well. You know, the basic two transfers are, one is the permanent transfer, which we had talked initially, and second is temporary transfer, which is the loan move. Okay, so temporary means the player goes out for 1 or 2 years and then comes back to his original club, just like how the FD comes back to us, right? The money which we have deposited. So there are very special transfers also. One is the swap deal. So basically, if Srikanth, assuming that you are a tester in TCS, you go to Microsoft. Obviously, TCS needs another tester like you to replace them. So they need to search elsewhere for the tester. But if two teams want the same position player, they can just swap themselves, swap two players amongst the teams, right? It's called a swap deal. So the most recent swap deal happened between Juventus and Bayern Munich. Juventus and Barcelona. So Juventus had sent Miralem Pjanic to Barcelona, while Barcelona had sent Artur to Juventus. Both are midfielders. So many swap deals have happened like that. And another, if you take swap deals one step ahead, you have the what I like to call the tripartite deal, wherein three clubs are involved in this kind of swap. So the most recent three-way deal which I had witnessed was between Chelsea, Arsenal, and Borussia Dortmund. So all the three teams wanted new strikers, and they had their own strikers who did not perform well. So basically, they all mutually decided to trade the strikers they had to another team. So basically, Chelsea sent Michy Batshuayi to Dortmund. Dortmund sent Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Arsenal, and Arsenal sent Olivier Giroud to Chelsea. So it was a very, very unique transfer, and at least it worked for two clubs, I would say.
Yeah, right. So this is something new, Vignesh. I had never heard of a tripartite move when more than two clubs were ever involved in a move. So that is something new. All that I was always wondering was about money. How much Neymar or Barcelona got when he moved to PSG, which was over 300 million. So that was one thing that struck me always. But yeah, very good knowing such a unique scenario exists in football where this might not be possible in an IPL or a cricket scenario. So Vignesh, since we have been talking about moves, so how do a team value a player? Like paying 300 or whatever, 50 million, 100 million to a player for his previous club to get him to his new club. So what is that, that the parameters that they choose to evaluate his, his opportunities, and how will they do that?
I'm really glad you asked that. So the two most important things in a player's contract is, number one, his wages, how much money he's being paid. So this in football is actually every footballer is paid on a weekly basis. Unlike how we are paid on a monthly basis, they are paid on a weekly basis. So the amount is mentioned on a weekly basis. And the second is how many years are left in the contract. Okay, so these are the two most important things. So when looking at a player valuation, if a player has more years in his contract, so obviously the new club needs to pay more to break the contract. So it is, I'm sure you can relate to it. Again, coming to the TCS example, the more and more years you serve when reducing the bond, the lesser you need to pay to them when you are going to break it.
Correct.
Yeah. So that is one of the most basic things. And a lot of other factors also involved. If a player genuinely wants to go to another club, he's going to push for the move, right? So if you want to go to Microsoft, you're going to persuade TCS so hard, which gives TCS the leverage. TCS knows that you desperately want to go to Microsoft, so obviously they're going to charge much more from Microsoft.
Right.
And again, if let us say that you want to go back to your hometown in Mysore, So that also plays a big factor. If a player wants to go back to his homeland, then again the company which has the player has the leverage to ask for more money. Okay, so these are some of the few factors which influence the valuation of player. And of course, the player should not be injury prone. If a player is injury prone, then obviously his valuation reduces drastically, because you know that he might miss a lot of matches. Which is why Marco Reus, he's one of the most promising German players. He has never been involved much in the transfer market, because everybody knows that he's injury prone and no club is going to, risk buying him because he might be injured for a lot of time.
Right, Vignesh. As we are speaking, I just saw a pop-up on my screen that there is a breaking news about Ronaldo being offered to Barcelona by Juventus. We do not know specifics of the deal yet, or if at all it will happen. But at the spot, how do you feel at such a news? Like, do you feel, if at all, is this possible in the future that Ronaldo and Messi will play together in a team?
Yes, Srikanth, the prospect sounds very interesting, but one thing you have to know, football transfers is actually a very big market, because this happens mostly during the non-football times, like when the leagues does not happen, the transfer market is open. So the journalists are definitely going to milk the most out of everything, because they need to sell stories. Because when football is not there, transfer is the only thing which the journalist can sell. So a lot of amateur football fans actually fall for the transfer rumors. So I definitely think this is one of a journalist gimmick, and I don't think it's possible that despite the fact that it will be really good if Ronaldo and Messi play together, I don't think it's going to happen, because Juventus had just bought Ronaldo 2 years back, and they have a new coach, Andrea Pirlo, and definitely they would want to see how Ronaldo is going to gel with the new manager. And yeah, that's what I feel, and I have to warn you, beware of the bad transfer rumors.
Right. But keep my fingers crossed, hoping that would happen. That would be a treat to the eyes to watch, to whatever extent that is possible. So Vignesh, it was great talking to you, and I hope all our viewers will enjoy the content that we have provided. Please do share, like, and subscribe to our channel, and keep watching Sportszans for more videos on all type of sports. Thank you, and we'll come back to you in the next video episode. Bye.
Bye.